Question number 1, do you have any hidden talents? Yes. See if I can do this right. I used to rule the world. She's realized when I gave away. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sleep the streets I used to walk. So enough of that. I play guitar. I play guitar, ukulele, piano, and drums on Expert on Rock Band. I can't play the drums in real life. Everything I was gonna do in real life, drums only on Rock Band. I'd assume it'd be similar, but it hasn't transferred yet. So, 3 people I'd want to meet, dead or alive: Easy, Walt Disney, Jay-Z. Mr. Beast was gonna be my third answer, but then I'm like, it's gotta be a dead person who I could replace with that. Maybe Abraham Lincoln, perhaps? No, maybe not Abraham. Would I want to meet Abraham Lincoln? Jesus? If I had to eat one meal for the rest of my life, oh my God, beef stew. Absolutely beef stew. I love beef stew. It reminds me of home. It reminds me of like my mom and home cooked meals. And ever since I moved out to LA, I just have not had enough of those. I survive mostly off of DoorDash, which is unfortunate. But beef stew, I'd eat beef stew. It's like, I mean, for those of you who don't know, it's just, I don't even know how they make it. It's like, it's rice, and then it's meat. You put like carrots and green beans, and it's just hot, delicious goodness. It keeps my soul happy. My love language is apparently people cooking for me. So, nothing changes the world like a home cooked meal. God, it's just like the love in the food. But beef stew is basically like, I guess, curry as well. I didn't really realize that, but my parents are from New Orleans, so a lot of like delicious flavors and spices in there. Cool, if I was stranded on an island and I had to take 3 objects, which objects am I taking? I'm gonna take a jug of water because hydrate or dehydrate, The second thing I'm taking is going to definitely be a genie, so I can wish for more wishes. And the third thing is going to be a way off of the island, because you work smarter, not harder. I'm a backdoor kind of guy. I always like to think of the different way to approach a situation, like, you must think you're really clever. It's like, yeah, yes, I do. Okay, wait, no, if I had to do different, I had to be like really serious. The 3 things I'm taking to the island, like if they had to fit in my pocket, let's say that, I'm gonna bring a pocket knife, a waterproof lighter, a solar-powered cell phone. There might not be service on that island. I could at least play Angry Birds. That's what I go with. What advice would I give my past self? This is a great question. I think to my past self, depending on where, let's just say like at the start of my journey on social media, I would say like, yo, have fun with this thing. No matter how fast or when you go viral, like don't stop working. Don't rely on that viral content to do everything for you. Like lean into it, yes, but know that virality comes and goes, fads come and go. But like to have something that lasts beyond the fad, like a real community, a real voice, knowing what you want to communicate, who you are, like that matters, I'd really make sure to be like, hey, lean into that. Trust that, continue to trust yourself, and even if what you're posting is not going viral, if you like it and it's good and the people you want to talk to are enjoying it and it's good, then like you're cooking. So at that point, it just becomes like more of a matter of time type of a thing. So yeah, and also enjoy your journey. Like you never really arrive anywhere, so like make sure you enjoy each part of it. Like where you're at here, even where I'm at right now, I'm like, it's like pause and enjoy. What are some of my favorite movies of all time? Hercules. I don't know, I kind of grew up watching Hercules, the animated one. The music was fantastic. The colors like really popped to me. I'm actually highly inspired by a lot of like Disney films, like in life, and just the way they've been able to tell stories that like have shaped the framework for my mind. So I really love Hercules. The music was great. The visuals were great, and it just felt like a kind of a dude's film while still being like really cool, I guess, American animation. Which I'm also passionate about. I wanted to be an illustrator growing up, actually, but I found out illustrators don't make a lot of money. So I decided to instead get like just content, but I'm still very passionate about illustrating and wanting to like give back and get back into that industry at some point down the line. My favorite movie of all time has to be Inception. Christopher Nolan is fantastic. Like, I love the way he just like sings if your brain was a sub from Subway, he loads that bad boy up. Like, can I get the jalapenos? Can I get the peppers? Can you put some oregano on it? Salt, pepper. Oh, salami? Yes, but also the bacon. Is that cat food? Put it on there. Put it all on there. I want it roasted. And that is what he does to my brain every time I watch a movie, and I love it. It's just so good. What is something else people who follow you don't know about you? Most people can't seem to figure out where I live. I guess I don't talk about it enough, but I used to live in Florida, great old town of Jacksonville, Florida. We just got ourselves a Buc-ee's, okay? You know what I'm saying? We had ourselves a Buc-ee's. It's a fantastic gas station, and we have one in town, so it's a big deal for us. It's a Buc-ee's is like a Walmart. If a Walmart had a baby with a Wawa. If you don't know what Walmart is, you just Google it. If you don't know what Wawa is, it's a 24-hour gas station that's basically a Starbucks. Like, that's how clean and like nice it is. Except you can order salads there. And a Buc-ee's is a combination of those two things. It's massive. They have like 100 stalls at every single one. It's basically like what I would imagine heaven looks like across all religions. Heaven probably looks a little bit like a Buc-ee's. But I grew up in Florida, and now I live in Los Angeles, so I'm bi-coastal, baby. Well, I don't really go back and forth, but I currently live in Los Angeles, and I'm loving it out here. We got a little bit of rain right now, but it's great. What would be, if I had to choose any superpower, which would I choose? I would go with flight. A lot of people like to say invisibility. I'm like, let me tell you why that's wrong. Invisibility is cool, but the downside is you can't fly. What are we doing? So what are we doing? You can't fly. If you fly high enough, you're basically invisible. So think about that. You have to deal with the cold and the wind chill, but you can wear a parka, perhaps a puffer jacket, a ski mask, and your glasses to keep the bugs out of your eyes. But like, imagine there's a situation in which you wanna spy on somebody, and like, be invisible, just sit in the room. They can still smell you, they can still hear you. You're just invisible, you know. And as soon as they feel you in the corner, they punch you and you're dead. If you're flying, you just like fly up and sit behind like a tree or something, just look into the window. So nobody expects someone to be flying. I always anticipate somebody's invisible near me. Is that paranoia or what? I don't know, but you just never really know. So I do that from time to time. I'll swing my arms around just to make sure there's nobody invisible. Creep, but I recommend everyone do that. So definitely I'm gonna go with flight. As if those were the only two superhero options given to me. They weren't, there were more, but I'd go with flight. When did I first go viral? So I first went viral, I believe it was at the start of the pandemic, start of the Panorrhea, with my series God and Gabriel. This was a series of like tweets I adapted into like a comedy skits. I just wanted a way to practice my voice acting. So I made this series, and then it took on a life of its own, and that really took off. And I went from like 0 to like 2 million followers over the course of like 3 months, I guess, which was crazy. It was a benefit, and it was all great. But just going viral does not solve all of your problems, like a lot of people feels like it does. It solves a lot of them, but it does not solve all of them. It does not solve always the most important ones either. When was a time in my life when I was at a crossroads, and how did I decide what to do? I come to a lot of crossroads. I think a lot. I'm a textbook overthinker. Like, my friends like, Lonnie, you think too much. And I'm like, I think you're wrong, but you could also be right. But I don't know exactly if I agree with the way you're thinking about this. But if we really break down what's happening, they're like, you're overthinking. And I'm like, no, I'm just normal thinking. And then they say you should see a doctor. And I'm like, you're right. But the way I usually navigate these tough decisions is I flip a coin. No, not really. I don't flip a coin. I do sometimes. But really, I think you got to think about what your values are. Like, what do you really care about? Like, what matters most? I think there's not just what matters most, but like, what will matter most, like, in the long term too. And again, having these decided beforehand, like, what are your values? Like, I value community, I value authenticity, I value relationships, I value adventure and like exploration. Like, these are weird kind of values. These are things I hold dear. Like, I love discovering new things. I love innovating. I love trying things in a new way. And I really value that. And I also value relationships. I think relationships are the most important thing in my life. So whenever I come to a crossroads, I go with the answer that is most in line with my values. Sometimes if it's two things of like the similar value, I have to kind of just like listen to like what I desire most in that moment. And just, again, check to make sure the long-term ramifications are like not gonna ruin my life or things I value. So That's kind of how I figure out what to do at Crossroads. I decide what I value, and I know that ahead of time, or I figure it out. I'm like, what's really important to me? What do I want to have most at the end of the day? And I go based off of that. If I had to describe myself in 4 words, what would they be? I would say like excited, maybe excitable. Am I overthinking this again? I'd be like excited, adventurous, compassionate, and determined. Which people are like, but you're also funny. I'm like, I know I'm funny and I feel funny, but I wouldn't always describe myself as funny. I feel like people who like say, I'm funny, you immediately are like, well, are you really? You know? But those are the 4 ways I would describe myself. Really compassionate, love people. What is my favorite holiday? Christmas. I think I have a theory, and maybe this is an inappropriate theory, so cut this if it is, but my theory is that people with mommy and daddy issues love Halloween, while people who had good childhoods love Christmas. I'm not a scientist, but that's something else people should know about me. I have a degree in human factor psychology, and I also have my MBA, my Master's of Business Administration. And I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, which is a pilot school. All my friends were literally rocket scientists, pilots, and then there was me who did business because I don't do math. Last question, which people or accounts are my favorite to follow on social media? Mostly my friends, actually. It's so weird. You would think I'm not on like social media as much as I should be. I'm one of those creators who like I make stuff, I post, and then I'm like outie. I'm back in the world making stuff and like organizing people and doing stuff. But when I do hop on, I don't know. Actually, I have my friend Grace Africa. She's fantastic. My friend Jasmine Rice Girl on Twitter, also fantastic. Liv.Pearsall, phenomenal. King Vader, I love King Vader. Rich Black Guy is another fantastic creator. Ben Brainerd, also pretty great. These are some of the people, these are like fortunate enough to have as my friends, and they're all pretty brilliant. So thank you guys so much.